Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 17th of September. So I just noticed I've got a bit of data missing here on my e-signal, so I'm going to just close that whilst we're talking. I'm going to switch around and do a bit of a reversal in terms of what I'm looking for this morning. Let's just bring in the markets. I'm going to start off with crypto, which is a bit of an unusual one. Before I do that, let's just have a look at the data coming out today and the data out yesterday, just so we could see really what's going on. So yesterday, sort of surprising data there. Core retail sales in the US coming in much higher than expected. Another positive step for the dollar effectively in the economy there. This morning, well, UK retail sales less than expected, so came out a negative figure. We're seeing a slowdown now. Whatever reasons driving that, we'll have to wait and see. Right, I'm just going to click on another button whilst I get this prepared. Okay, and let's have a look. I may lose this chart in a moment, but let's have a look at the crypto side of things as of yesterday and this morning. So yesterday ended up on a down day on the Bitcoin. Didn't really manage to hold on too well. Stays within this range. Still potential further upside there. And well, Ethereum. The thing with these markets is it moves so similarly. Ethereum done the same here, pushing up. Ripple. Very much the same sort of thing, pushing up at well, actually with Ripple again just consolidation. So you're just sort of seeing this consolidation phase. Longer these consolidations hold, well, that they are towards the bottom of a move, and there is that sort of question, well, if it dips below the lows of 101.73 here or 737, it starts dipping below there, well then it confirms lower highs, and it is a more of a weaker signal. The more it can hold, and well, you see the likes of Bitcoin's just pushed up there. Bitcoin and Ethereum, they just look that bit stronger. It just got that bit stronger. Of course, still got court cases hanging over Ripple. Whoops, I picked on that one. Cardano, still consolidation where it is, and similar sort of price action. So all these markets, well, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the most bullish too, particularly Ethereum there, still my favoured one of the lot. Okay, that's where we are with those. I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to get see. Got my forex back now. A chart that's actually showing the daily candles, always nicer. So this is what the result of yesterday's selling off even further. Can't help but I just want to put a little fib retrace, see where that's sitting. I thought so. It's looked pretty close to 61.8, and it is close to 61.8. Just retracing back to that small bounce this morning at the moment. As I said yesterday, these early movements, they can be. We can see complete crossovers, retracements from those yesterday, though it was just a complete down day for the majority of the day there. Now, looking at the shorter time frames here, I'm looking at its daily pivot. It's looking like a good point of resistance along with the 34, and we've got this sort of trend line running across the lows here. It's bear flaggish. Now, the bear flag at some point, it sort of they become a bit sort of longer and wider, and if it spends too much time up here, well, perhaps it will just continue going upwards. The higher lows start coming in. We've seen this on this 60-minute time frame, a couple of higher lows now being confirmed and in. So we're really just looking, well, the line in the sand, if you like, is this around about this daily pivot 34. If it starts pushing above that, well, maybe it has got more of a retrace, but to me, trend wise, still looks very much to the downside. Okay, pound. The pound's quite a choppy mess, I think, is the best description of it. There we go on a daily. Can't get much better than that. It's sort of range bound, but not quite. When you come down to the 4 hourlies, a little bit easier. With this lower high being confirmed in here, to start reading something as we push through. Got a nice trend line here. I'm just sort of looking at this. It's already caught the daily pivot. it just looks a bit weaker. That news probably didn't, retail sales didn't help the situation this morning. Okay, I can, Roy, but don't put too much there because I won't be able to cover everything. Okay, sorry, I've got a list coming down the side of my questions here. Right, okay, so in fact, whilst I'm at this point here, I will stop. And Roy did point out the quadruple witching. This is when the options and futures expire all on the same day. There's you've got this sort of overlap. Now, often, and particularly in the older days, we used to see a lot more volatility kicking into the markets around it, as there was a battle for some of these options to be expiring worthless, etc. And the battle used to be on. We used to see in the US markets 3M would be being sold off quite a lot on the third Friday of the month. It's the third Friday of the month, but it's a combination of quarters as well. So beware. It can and it used to get quite volatile. Not necessarily as much now. But it's still got the potential of the different markets being of the different futures and options being, as I say, expiring. Right, I've got that out of the way because it's a good point to remember it. Thank you. Okay. Let's carry on. Sorry, the pound, where did we get to? 60 minutes. So, yep, a breakdown of this trend line looks to me like a potential sell point for me, certainly. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, well, as I said yesterday, it was curling around here, starting to continue this sell point, and yesterday comes in, but eventually it retraces most of that movement, and it's just got quite messy. So you look down here, higher lows coming through on the 4 hourlies and the 2 high lows. Well, back into range. Now, what's it going to do? It just looks like it's slowing up to me, and there's not quite a divergence at these highs. Maybe it will pop up a little bit higher, but the potential is for it to roll back over. We are seeing the sort of strength of the US dollar as a whole, but we had also seen a bit of strength of the yen, but this is, as I said, from that sort of pick up there yesterday afternoon, it sort of just it lost the strength. The US dollar just rolling it over at that point, but it's lost it again at that same sort of time. It lost it against the likes of the euro and everything else. The yen just losing what was its well, as I say, the strength that is pushing through. So but if self there, a breakdown of that trend line would, as I say, be a bit more bearish for me. Aussie dollar largely continuing on the downside as well, very much as I said yesterday. The Aussie and the euro are working pretty well together in terms of their movements, largely following each other. Bit of a bounce at the moment, higher low just coming through on this 4 hourly. You can just see it, easier to see on the hourlies here. The higher low comes through. Now the Aussie has broken through and hit through its daily pivot, slightly more bullish from that perspective, but not quite selling off during some of the days. Yesterday it just rolled over, but not quite selling off on some days. This back here, I expected it to roll over a little bit more. At this stage, I wouldn't be wanting to short this. It's just looking with this higher low that it might have a bit more legs. Of course, this could all turn post 8 o'clock, but it's, as I say, just got the legs there at the moment, and looks like it's going to push up further. Canadian dollar, when you look at it on a daily basis, remains a complete mess. Nothing. I mean, it's one minute it's looking bullish, bearish, bullish against the dollar, and it's just effectively in this tight old range. Expected a bit more. There's an expected hung parliament. Voting goes on this weekend, and the parliament is expected to be hung, which, in other words, no decisive winner. It will make it very difficult, and that will affect the Canadian dollar. Maybe that's why it's in quite such a chop as it is. It's nowhere to go, and I think the best thing to do for now is leave that one. Okay, excuse me. Looking at euro yen, then just showing you this, whoops, the how the yen is just sort of at the moment. The euro was selling off yesterday, really rushing against this yen, but the yen just today, just see the sort of turn around a little bit at the moment now. I don't know, the euro yen could be, actually looks better for the shakeout and a sell off again here at some point. Although look how long this, I mean, if it was a bear flag, it seems to have gone past the flag opportunities now, and it's sort of continuing, but we'll see how it develops. But again, just a trend line needed on that for now. Looking as probably a bit more conservative approach if that starts breaking over. Right, okay, that's pretty much it on currencies. Quick look at commodities. So some of these markets, just when I'm looking at them, they're just not in a clear state, and you look at them and you think, wow, where's this going? Gold, well, gold took the sell-off yesterday with everything else. In doing so, confirmed the lower high on the dailies. Broke through an area which we'd been seeing a lot of support around previously. It's broken back through that, but just found a bit of support back into its daily 500. Getting a little bit of bounce this morning. Just looking at this, it still looks on the softer side for me. But again, well, yeah, we've got a trend line running across the lows there, or would have a trend line if I drew it. But again, a break may be down below the 8, certainly looking more bearish. Target wise, it becomes a little bit awkward because of this spiky action. Obviously, previously there was demand sitting down here. On both occasions, it sort of started selling off down there. It was bought back. So great expectations of it breaking a long way but lower. May just not happen. The bodies may just give as far as it's willing to go at the moment before we get buying coming in. Okay, oil. So oil just consolidating inside bar yesterday. A bit of consolidation, no surprise after the shove up the previous day. Quite messy, quite again difficult if you're trying to follow this and trade it on the shorter time frame. We should go through the time frames here. Picking up yesterday evening, really, or late afternoon, picking back into this, but it's again choppiness. I said before I wouldn't really want to be shorting at this stage. Maybe a short if it starts breaking down that sort of the trend that sits below below these lows here. But realistically, it may be a safer wait to watch. See if we get a trend break over the highs here. Let me see if I can just draw that on quickly, even if it's more. There we go, more aggressive. So a trend break later above this area might just be a better move. The way oil's been running lately. Okay, that's pretty much it there. Let's just go and look at the indices. Sorry, just switching across. Switch over to the indices. Okay, and well, slight turnaround there on the CSI 300 there, but to me it still looks bearish. We might see more support coming in here, but I'm just looking at this thinking it's going to continue on the downside over the coming days, weeks. Just looks so soft there. The Nikkei, well, Nikkei picked up overnight there, but still consolidating where it is. It may be getting more money flowing into it. It's a much more solid sort of move there, or say solid move. We've had a solid move in there. We may see more money running through. What time's it? 8:04. Good. The FTSE's open. Wow, that's flown up this morning. A good solid move up there. It's just holding up better than some of the other European indices. If you come to the DAX just a bit slower this morning, but again an up bar. I'm sort of looking at these. Coming back to the FTSE. They just hanging in there, back above its 100 at the moment. I'm still looking overall with a drop of below 7,000. I think that would be a lot more bearish. I would see more selling coming in. At the moment, it's just holding in. The French CAC Also getting a better bounce, still holding better, hasn't quite broken. I was looking there a couple of days ago to see if it broke the prior lows there. It would give us a lower high, would look a lot softer, but again holding up at the moment. So these markets just holding. Who knows, we could get a more solid push up there. S&P is just not looking that convincing at the moment. Yesterday still sold, but got a decent bounce towards the end of the day there, closing not too far from open, up a bit at the moment. I know everyone wants these to roll over, but I'm just waiting for the time, and particularly the S&Ps here, it starts pushing back the other way. Maybe not yet. It's just consolidating around these lows. It's well, a break of the trend line there. It would be probably a sell down towards that 100. But at the moment, the more it consolidates, the more it's actually trying to push up here. Well, you just I'm almost waiting for the next wave to the upside. Okay, on that note, remember the quadruple witch in particularly. It's coming into later US session later this afternoon, which could, as I say, create more volatility. Be careful. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next week. Take care. Bye for now.